Hey guys, it's Casey's Politics. So I'm back with another governor prediction, this time as of August. This is my first one since June, and a few things have changed, so we're going to get into that. Starting off, as always, the safe Republican states. We have Idaho. We have Idaho, Wyoming, South Dakota, Nebraska, Oklahoma. We could probably put Texas in there. Arkansas, Tennessee, Alabama, Florida, South Carolina, and can't forget about Vermont. So out of the gate, those are the safe Republican states. Now the safe Democrat states: California, Hawaii, Colorado, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Maryland, and we can put we'll put New Mexico as likely. And those are the safe states. Likely states, we'll start off Minnesota. This may be safe, but Klobuchar, it will be the Democratic nominee if she faces Mike Lindell. It may be over 10. And Illinois, we'll put it as likely. This is another state that could be safe, but Pritzker, facing some controversy over potentially losing the Chicago Bears, put it as likely Democrats. And then we have New York, Kathy Hochul. She was only leading her Republican opponent by, I believe, 4 points. And she's just not very popular in the state of New York, but she is the incumbent governor. It is New York. I expect it to go Democrats. In Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro is relatively popular. Even though he is facing a decent Republican candidate, he seems to be really leading in the polls. And then Maine, this should go Democrat pretty much no problem. So another likely Republican states. We have Kansas. This is a Republican flip. Ty Masterson, likely the Republican nominee, go on to win and give Kansas their first Republican governor victory since 2014. And we can also put Georgia in lean, I believe. Rick Jackson, the Republican nominee, he has lots of money. He has already started spending lots of money in the race. He is going to face Keisha Lance Bottoms, who is not a very strong candidate. She was the mayor of Atlanta. Did not handle the 2020 riots very well. So I think Jackson is going to be able to win in Georgia, potentially avoiding a runoff. And then Ohio, we'll put that as lean. Vivek, of course, running against Amy Acton. Amy Acton is not a very strong candidate. Recent ads have been hitting her for her past controversies and scandals. Vivek doesn't really have any scandals or controversies. He may not have the best optics in a state like Ohio, but I think he's still going to be able to win. It seems like he's been running a pretty solid campaign up to this point. And we can't forget about New Hampshire. That's going to be a likely Republican state. Kelly Ayotte is the governor. She is pretty popular in the state of New Hampshire. Now getting into the lean states. Firstly, we're going to start off with Oregon. Now, recent polls have showed that the Democrat governor, Tina Kotek, is very unpopular in Oregon. Democrat governors in Oregon are usually pretty unpopular. She's gonna have a rematch of 2022 with Christine Drazan, who is a pretty strong candidate, but it's just really not the year. It's gonna be a blue year, and it's just really not the year for Republicans to flip it. But it will be somewhere 5 or below, I believe. And then Nevada, will put that as lean Republican. Joe Lombardo, he's the incumbent governor. He's pretty popular. Republicans continue to do good with voter registration trends, and I don't see him having too hard of a time winning there. Also, Alaska, we could probably put as lean Democrats. We're able to recruit a relatively decent candidate, a member of the Begich family. Alaska's Senate race is definitely going to be competitive, and the governor race may be a bit competitive, but I think Republicans will be able to hold on there. In Michigan, I think this will be a lean Democratic state. Jocelyn Benson versus John James. John James is definitely a strong candidate. Benson has some name recognition, though. She is the incumbent Secretary of State. The Senate race, which will likely be Mike Rogers versus Abdul El Sayed, that one's definitely going to be more interesting. Mike Rogers may be able to even win that, so we'll have to see there. But as of now, Michigan is lean Democrat at the governor race. We can also put Arizona as lean. Now, Andy Biggs is really not that bad of a candidate, even though people like to say that. Biggs seems like he has ran a pretty strong campaign so far. He's been trying to unite the party, which I think can definitely help. We'll probably put this as tilt Democrats. Biggs has been running a pretty strong campaign so far. Republicans continue to make up some ground in voter registration. But Hobbs is the incumbent governor. I think this is just really not the year for Republicans to flip it. I think they're going to have a flip by 2030, which is the next midterm election. Two remaining states, we have Iowa and Wisconsin. Now, these are going to be pretty competitive. We're going to start off with Iowa. Now, Democrats nominated possibly their best Senate candidate, Auditor Rob Sand, who is a pretty overrated candidate, in my opinion. He barely won in 2022 against a no-name challenger with virtually no fundraising. And Sand has some things that can be called into question about his time as the auditor in Iowa. Zach Lane, who won his primary in an upset against Randy Feenstra, Lane seems like the kind of candidate that could drive up low propensity turnouts, and he is a decent fit in Iowa. He's more of the populist, outsider kind of candidate. Along Iowa, as of now, I think can be tilt Republican. This is definitely going to be a close race, but I think Lane will be able to eke it out. Iowa's obviously been trending very Republican. Lane, I think, has ran a pretty strong campaign up to this point. I think as of now, it's tilt Republican. Final state is Wisconsin. Now, Republicans will nominate Tom Tiffany, who is the representative from northern Wisconsin, and Democrats will likely nominate Francesca Hong, who is a very extreme Democrat. She DSA aligned. Tom Tiffany is relatively inoffensive. Hong is just crazy. She's not really the kind of candidate for Wisconsin. Obviously, she's going to do great in the Madison and Milwaukee urban areas, not really too much in the suburbs. This race is definitely going to be close, but as of now, I think Tiffany can somehow pull this off. Tiffany seems to have some decent fundraising, and so far he's ran some decent ads that are showing in Wisconsin. Hong is just very extreme, and I'm not sure she can win in a state like Wisconsin. So this is the governor map as of August 2026. We have a couple surprising races here, but let me know what you guys think. Do you agree or disagree? Comment down below. But thank you guys for watching. This is Casey's Politics.